Hey everybody, this video is really off the cuff. It's just a small topic that originally was going to be put into the 5th gen music discussion video, which I promised a long time ago, but I felt that this topic should be its own video, so I'm making it its own video. So around 4th generation, I spent a lot of time thinking about the purpose of area battle music versus individual monster battle music. Essentially, my question is, what is the design purpose of using generic battle music for a map versus just giving every monster an individual battle music? So to clarify, as we all know, every map has a dedicated battle music that plays when you're engaged with the monster. However, some monsters, like flagships, override this music and they play their own dedicated theme song. Ultimately, I closed this topic in my head and I ultimately said, who the hell cares? Whatever, it doesn't matter. And some monsters have it, some monsters don't. Whatever. But Spinas kind of changed everything, and maybe this brought the topic back in my head, and I'm like, wait a minute, maybe we should talk about this. At least just for fun, you know? Because I think that this topic does make a point that it's at least important to discuss why some monsters have music associated with them, even if that music wasn't necessarily made for them. So when Spinas was added to Sunbreak, it was given a dedicated battle music. Spinas did not originally have a dedicated battle music because in Frontier, it would just use whatever generic battle music was on the map. And Spinas was usually fought in the Great Forest, so when you usually fought the monster, you usually heard the Great Forest battle music. So in Sunbreak, instead of just playing whatever music, they decided to give Spinas a remix of the Great Forest battle music, which you all should know by now, but it brings up the question, does that mean definitively that the Great Forest battle music is Spinas' battle theme? Like, does that mean that the monster and the music are linked together, that they are one and the same? And I don't know. I have to assume yes, because Capcom did make it Spinas' theme in Sunbreak. Like, on the soundtrack title of the CD, it doesn't list Spinas' name. And if you go back and watch the Frontier 2.0 trailer, the trailer for the update that was going to include Spinas, it doesn't even use any of the Great Forest battle music, and instead it uses the swamp battle music.
他のモンスターたちはその姿に恐れをなし、エスピナスを襲うようなことはしない。普段はおとなしく木々に身を潜み、目立たないように行動しているらしいが。We can reasonably assume this is just because the Great Forest battle music that we associate with Spinas wasn't even written yet, because it's higher ranking music, and the maps in Frontier had like 3... Look, it gets really confusing. Again, Capcom decided, yep, Spinas' theme song is the Great Forest battle music, the higher ranking Great Forest battle music, so we end the story there. Whatever. But how come Spinas gets this special treatment, but no other monster gets this special treatment? Rathalos has a theme song, and we hear it in his intro cutscenes. Meaning that Capcom definitely considers this song to be the theme song of Rathalos. So why doesn't Rathalos get his own music remix? I would say at this point he deserves one. He's the series flagship. Another great example is Rathian, and Rathian has also gotten remixes in the cutscenes.
This song is roughly translated as Ancient Rhythm. It's the old jungle theme, but it's often associated with Rathian. Rathian's theme song is actually my favorite battle music in the whole franchise. I really like this song, and I really like the remixes. So obviously, I'm gonna want to ask for, hey, why doesn't Rathian get her own dedicated theme song? Problem is that sometimes these songs aren't necessarily dedicated to these specific monsters, and there is some inconsistency about how these songs are used. Like, the old desert theme, the Dunes theme, is associated with Monoblos. Hell, the song is even called Crimson Horn, which there's only one monster in that game with the Crimson Horn, and that's Monoblos. However, in Monster Hunter 3 for Diablos, they use that song in Diablos' intro. In Monster Hunter 4, Congalula's Frenzy intro contains a segment of the Frontier Jungle battle music. This is because the song is roughly translated as Jungle Glutton or Hog of the Jungle, which is a very similar title to the Monster Hunter 2 version of the jungle theme, which is roughly translated as Outlaw of the Jungle. And despite the association with Congalula, a new rendition of the jungle theme is used in Sunbreak, yet Congalula is nowhere to be seen. So is that song actually reflective of Congalula, or did they just use it because they wanted to be nostalgia? They wanted nostalgia bait us. So how come in Rise the jungle got its theme song basically redone? It's exactly the same. But the Sandy Plains and the Flooded Forest got brand new tracks. They didn't get remixes. The Sandy Plains theme song, Earth, Sand, and Fiery Winds, is associated with Baroth. And Baroth's in the game, but his theme song isn't in the game. It's weird, right? Like, I guess the point I'm making is that ultimately, yeah, it doesn't matter, and I don't think Capcom actually cares. Spina's got special treatment because it's a beloved Frontier monster, and they wanted to nostalgia bait fans of Frontier. And there's several more examples out there of referencing the music and music being associated with different monsters. It's worth mentioning, Barioth also had something similar in Iceborne. You can actually hear the Tundra battle music briefly. I was gonna play the Iceborne Barioth intro, but let me tell you, my computer cannot handle recording footage of Iceborne at all. I tried bringing down the quality of the game, like the game graphics. It doesn't work. So my question for all of you is, what would you prefer? Would you prefer if Capcom stuck to what they've always done, where only special monsters get their own themes? Or would you like if every monster got their own dedicated theme? Because at this point, most monsters do have a theme that's associated with them. I don't think every monster needs its own theme, but I do think that some beloved monsters, or at least some monsters that are heavily associated with theme songs, should get their own dedicated themes. Rathalos and Rathian, I believe, should get their own dedicated theme songs, and monsters like Lagiacrus should get it too, at least. Tell me what you think below. This was kind of an all over the place sort of topic. Again, this was supposed to be in a bigger video, which is gonna come later, but I felt that this should just be its own thing. Let me know your thoughts below. I know I'm rambling, whatever. Bye.